So I want to welcome you all to the 4-Star Diamond group call today. Super, super excited because I have a brand new coach, Shelley Hobbs, who was a 1-star diamond last week, is now a 4-star diamond this week. And after hearing her story, I just felt like she needed to speak and she needed to be part of this group. And the reason why, and it's so funny because in the post that I did, I wrote, she's been a coach for several years. She's actually only been a coach 2 years this December, but just kind of into her story, and I'll just kind of enlighten you a little bit about it. But she is, first and foremost, she's from Arizona. She has 2 adorable children, Wyatt and Meadow. She has been a coach this December 2 years. And even though, advancing as fast as she did, she also feels like it took a little bit longer. And the reason I say that is because she advanced to a diamond coach in 60 days. And then from there kind of was a little stagnant for about 10 months. And the reason why is she was trying to figure out all the little things. And I think now that's what has made her so successful, is because exactly that she has figured out all the little things. But along with that, she's now ranked number 59 within the network out of 380,000 coaches. I'm sure that number is even higher today. So she is on track. I mean, she's 6-star diamond qual and will definitely finish the year very, very strong. So without further ado, I'm excited to have Shelley talk to us more about getting better at the little things.
Hey guys, so nice to meet you all and be here. I love sharing with a group of like-minded people. It makes me so excited because sometimes I used to feel like such a lone ranger and so alone. And so it's so nice to be, in the wagon, like an 18-wheeler. We're all going in the same direction. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to just share what I've learned, because I just feel like probably most people have had similar experiences to me. And so it makes you feel like you're not alone, and also gives you ideas just in case like you're feeling stuck. But I'm also not perfect. I'm always working on things, but I feel like I got a lot of things figured out. So I want to talk about working on like getting really, really good at the little things, but also kind of 5 tips to get better at the little things. So I have a certain amount of time, so I'm going to talk really fast. And my voice is kind of hoarse because I've been talking to my kids a lot. Okay, so number 1, this sounds really weird, getting really good at the 5 daily vital behaviors. They're going to be like, 5? I thought there were only 3. Well, guess what? I implement 5 into my team, like no matter what. It's like do or die. These are your 5. And if you don't do this, you're kind of not a coach. Right? Okay. So obviously the product, 10 minutes of your personal development, invite. And then the other 2 bonus ones are adding friends every single stinking day, adding new friends, and then posting your 3 to 5 times a day. So you're probably like, I already know that. But how do you get really, really, really good at them? This is kind of what I'm going to talk about. For me, I like to have simplicity. If I have clutter and too much going on, and I'm just like, I get overwhelmed. For instance, like when the whole Periscope thing came out and I was watching everyone's Periscope videos and trying to figure it out. Oh my gosh, should I be on there? Oh my gosh, how do I do this? I'm going to set up on my account. I'm going to do it. I wasted 4.5 days. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not even perfected at these other things I'm doing. So I'm all get off and then keep focused. You know what I mean? So it's like a baby learning how to walk. You just kind of like bring them back in and say, just focus on this. So part of those little things is, so kind of tip number 1, but I'm kind of going out of line here, you guys, is like decluttering. If you know that those are the 5 things you need to do, then how do you get really, really, really good at them? So kind of like this 10 minutes of personal development, this is kind of the first one I want to talk about, was sometimes I used to feel like following, 15 coaches was kind of part of my personal development. So I'd read and then I'd go watch all these coaches and I'd spend all this time not doing activities. I'm like, I should be doing this and this person's doing that. And then I'm feeling, like I'm a total loser because I'm not here and this person's there. And all this time and energy just focused on just what other people are doing. I was exhausted. Obviously being a mom, and I'm just like, I don't have time for this. I got to focus on these 5 daily things. How do I get really good at them? So how do I say this? I followed Melanie Metro for 45 days, every single stinking day. I wasn't good at posting. Okay, so kind of goes to the other daily behavior, posting. How do you get really freaking good at posting and storytelling? Every single post, I get so excited, don't I? Should make a huge impact. It's every single post is on purpose. So I followed her and I watched her, and I would scroll back to like 2 months, and I would take 2 posts of hers a day, and I would do them Shelley style to help me learn how to take photos better, to help me learn how to just do it better and tell a story better. Okay. So I wouldn't do hers. I wouldn't copy hers, but I would be like, okay, I like that, how she has that fitness and she's got that motivation quote. And then she kind of writes something about it. If you look at my page today, you'll see that like every day I am now better at posting every single morning. People expect me to show up. It's personal development, motivation, fitness, all wrapped in one. I'm not taking my phone and being like, hey, look at me. It might be like, hey, look at me, but I got a message that goes along with it. That's way deeper than the visual piece. Okay. So then I removed everybody. I got rid of the clutter. I don't follow anybody anymore except for my own coaches to like and comment. And that allowed me to just open up space to what I like to say, do you. So I just really focused on like being Shelley, like what's my message? I'm 42. I was really afraid to say that for a long time. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like the oldest Beachbody coach there ever was. You know? And I was like, okay, everyone else on this other team was like in their 20s. This is crazy. And then when I started saying it, I started attracting more people. So I started really getting good at this posting part and storytelling. But one of the ways I did it was I decluttered and I didn't look at anyone else. And so I tell my coaches to follow a certain, like 5 or 6 people for 30 days. And I say, unfollow and do you. Because then they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And it kind of makes them get out of their comfort zone and push themselves. But the other piece to that is that this 10 minutes of personal development a day, I actually do way more. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I have like a lot of books. So what I do is I follow these authors on podcasts or their YouTube channels, and I listen to what they're saying, because the things that they're saying speak differently versus how Beachbody coaches talk. So I'm kind of all over the board when I talk sometimes. So let me kind of back up. This is like my 9th home business, you guys. I've been in 9 home businesses. And my first like amazing, oh my gosh, I have to have this moment was like I was like 21. And ever since then, I kind of had the bug, but I got stuck in the corporate world. And I think Brittany wanted me to tell my story, and I totally skipped over that. And so a really long story short, when my last corporate job, I got laid off. I was pregnant and I had a 1.5-year-old, and I was just like, holy cow, what am I going to do? And I knew that was kind of my fork in the road, right? So I could go back to the corporate world and make a great income, but all the great jobs were on the other side of town. And so my risk and my consequences and everything like that were, I put my kids into childcare, who knew how much money I was going to make, and then all the childcare costs, and then not being with my family. And I was like, okay, that is an option. Option totally sucks. Pardon my language, but I'm like, I didn't want that. It's like when I had babies, I was like, that's when I knew I kind of didn't want that anymore. But I had built such a great career, I didn't know where to turn. So being laid off was my key to freedom, I say, because then the other fork in the road was, you're an awesome, like at what you do in your job. You put in a lot of time and effort and energy, and you give your whole soul to these companies. Why don't you give your soul to yourself and go make your way? But I didn't know how. So I found my first kind of business in my kind of newer life on Craigslist. And since then, so that was like 4.5 years ago, I have been in now like 6 home businesses in the last 4 years. Okay. So I'm definitely not a quitter. I was a trier, and I would do whatever those people told me to do, like 3-way calls and like dropping off business cards at gas stations. It was ridiculous. So when my last business that I had a little bit of success with was the sort of internet marketing blogging base. And I loved it because I didn't have to go, I had already burned out my warm market. So it was teaching me ways that I could kind of use online stuff to bring people into my world. Well, then I met this girl on Facebook, and she is my upline sponsor coach. And she was a brand new Emerald coach. She came to me for assistance and in some Facebook marketing stuff, and helped her out. And we became friends, and I followed her on Facebook for 1 year, right? So 12 months. She invited me a few times. I said no. And then finally, I was so like depressed and full of anxiety that I really wanted to join a fitness group when her invitation popped up. And so every day she was posting, she was creating evidence in the things that I needed in my life, even though I didn't need them over this I wanted them, but I didn't know how, over 12 months period of time. What are these pieces of evidence? This is why our posting is so important for, I don't know how long you guys have been, a coach, but I always like to tell my coaches, like, hey, guess what? Some of the top coaches followed people or, were friends with someone for a whole 12 months before they said yes to anything. So you got to be in it for the long haul. You got to create a story and a foundation. So, long story short, joined a fitness group. 5 days later, my life has changed and I became a coach. And everything that I saw she was doing, I was like, I can do this. This is something I can do to create this income from home and be able to stay with the kids. And like, if I could just earn $1,000 a month, that'd be awesome. And she was earning a couple hundred a week. So that's kind of where I got the $1,000 a month. I'm like, maybe I could do this in like 6 months to a year, earn $1,000 a month, right? And I was earning it by my third month. So, as Brittany was saying, I got to Diamond and then I hung out at Diamond for a long stinking time because I didn't know how to help my coaches. And also the things I was talking about is kind of another tip I wanted to say was what you talk about, like on social media, people do. So if you're only talking about free groups all the time, they're going to be waiting for the next one. They're not going to see the value in joining your fitness group, right? If you're not talking about fitness groups, and if you're not like your upcoming fitness group or celebrating your fitness challengers or these little wins that are in your group or like what you guys are doing in your fitness group today and how it's helping you too. It's like all these little you're dropping hints subliminally all day long is what you're doing. Right. And, that's why I say it sounds so manipulative, but it's not. It's just storytelling. You're dropping hints all day long. But this is why you're a coach too, right? Because all these things that are helping you and how you're helping your team or your fitness group members. So what you talk about, people do. So if you're talking about fitness groups, if you're talking about your sneak peek, if you're talking about your join my team for the coach internship and mentorship, they're going to start getting a hint that that's what you have to offer among the whole stories of your posts, right? So one of the things in getting really good at is, again, going back to posting, is storytelling. So how do you get good at storytelling? Here's how I got really good at storytelling. This is really weird. I like to reverse engineer things. I started with a marketing calendar and I started mapping out my marketing month because otherwise I felt like I was like just shooting for Success Club points, trying to get as many fitness challengers as I could, right? Fitness challengers. I wasn't even talking about coaching, you guys, for the first year of my business. I never invited to coaching. I never talked about sneak peeks. I never said, join my team. So it's no wonder I had all these Success Club points every month, but no one who was building the business. And I wanted to quit like 4 times. And I was like, what is going on? Why? And I was like, I'm not freaking talking about coaching. So that's kind of the clue that went off in my head is what you talk about, people do. So I started mapping out this marketing month. And when I went to Summit and I heard Melanie Mitro talking about this, I just about fell out of my chair and all my coaches looked at me because it's the same thing that I do. Therefore, we were all like, yes, we're doing it right? Like we were on the same track, but we didn't know it because here's an expert talking about what she's doing. So I map out my marketing month. That's where I start. So that way, every week I have a specific marketing theme that I'm talking about. Basically, and you could switch your weeks around depending on how you want to do things, but we start with Success Club 10 by the 10th. That's what we start with. Does it happen for everybody? No, but it happens for me every month. I have Success Club 13 right now, but I kind of look at the date of the month and I'm like, that's where I should be for Success Club points. It just keeps it easy for me. But the first 2 weeks of the month, I have a video on like mapping out your month. I can share it into the groups. That way I don't kind of spend more time here. I'm happy if you guys want to look at how I kind of show my team how to map out your marketing month. So that way every week I have like exactly this focused, targeted message that I'm talking about in every way, shape, or form, and how I'm storytelling through my posts. Okay, so it is going back to these 5 daily vital behaviors, but there's details wrapped up in how to get really good at them. So you get really good at storytelling through your posts. You get really good at being on purpose through mapping out that marketing month. You get really good at that personal development by finding these authors that you're reading, right, in your personal development, and then listening to their podcasts. They're outside of Beachbody, so you're getting fresh new perspectives. Proof the products work. I mean, I feel like that's an easy one. You just got to be showing up. You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be showing up. You got to be doing it. And what I like to do, what feels good to me, and I don't know if you guys do this, but I share this with my coaches. I'm like, sometimes it feels weird to snap a selfie. Like I never snapped a selfie before I was a Beachbody coach. So I like to read my personal development and I get some cool ideas and inspiration from it, snap a selfie, and I'm excited to share like proof of fitness, being product of the product / my motivation, inspiration for the day to everybody. There were 2 days I didn't post and people were freaking out. Like 2 days I didn't post that in the morning, right? And people were freaking out messaging me. So I know that they expect it now. They like it. So that's kind of getting really good at being a product of the product by kind of using these other daily vital behaviors to help you do it. And then inviting, and that's always a tough one for people, but you know what I do? It's the thing I hate the most, which is kind of weird. I just get it out of the way first thing in the day. I just invite people, and I just get it done. But the adding friends piece, I feel like is what my coaches have the most challenge with. Do you guys feel like this too? Can I see? Yeah. Like the most challenge. So I've made it like my goal to go out there and lead by example and create new ways and ideas. And that's why I added it into the 5 daily vital behaviors, because I keep telling them, if you don't have new, fresh blood to see what you're posting on your page, then it's going to get stale for the people who are not liking and commenting. So I really make it a preference that they're adding, 2 to 3 new friends a day in certain ways. I've made some other videos on YouTube and I'm happy to share those. One of the ways, there are no other Beachbody coaches that I know that kind of use this fun little secret method, but I'm happy to share it with you guys. No, it's not really that secret. I learned it from my very first internet marketing business coach, if you will. And she now has a 7-figure business, but that's how she built her business on Facebook, starting kind of with this free method of adding friends. So it's getting really good at these 5 daily vital behaviors. Okay. And I feel like I'm all over the board. I made these nice little notes and now I'm just all over the place. So, I talked about do you. So I got really good at just doing Shelley, creating Shelley's story, who I was. When I was not focused on anyone else, I was then just left with focusing on how do I just share more of me in different ways without sounding conceited or authoritative or anything like that. Just be fun and just be real. Let me see here. Here's another one that when I started kind of implementing this theory into my business, it's interesting. A lot of people, the diamonds that I have now started going diamond because I didn't feel like I was pressuring them anymore. I was like, dang it, this is what I'm doing, right? And you told me that you guys have goals and dreams. So these are the ways to do them. And so you got to decide what you want. Oh my gosh, my dog, I'm sorry. So basically here's this theory is, and I share this with my coaches from the very beginning. I am neither responsible for your success or responsible for the lack of your success. I'm here to lead you and show you the blueprint and the tools to build your house as big as you want. That's like, imagine yourself with a tool belt is what I tell them. You got a tool belt, but I'm not responsible for whether you use that tool belt or not. I'm giving you all the tools. It's up to you to use. So then when I'm like preaching the preach or talking, whatever I'm doing in there, sometimes I give some tough love. I don't feel like I'm trying to pressure them to do anything. Things started to shift and change in my team when I started saying that. I say it in my videos. I type it out in my welcome email. I mean, it might sound weird, but people like it. They tend to gravitate to it. I think it makes them feel empowered. And I'm always kind of talking the words like, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. I'm going to teach you how to be a great coach, but I'm also going to teach you how to be a great entrepreneur business owner and use social media and internet marketing tools to your advantage. You know what I mean? So it's not like get Success Club 5. It's all these other things about, and here are your business goals every month to make sure you're moving your business forward. I really started to just try and shift how I'm languaging things to them. Like I'm doing this. This is how I do it. This is how the leaders on my team do it. And it just, I like that word languaging because that's just really what I started to do is use different words. I also talk about, especially to my coaches who are doing things like taking action. There are, I call it seasons of hustle versus consistency and maintenance. So like the first 2 weeks of the month, it's hustle for me. I want to achieve my Success Club 10. I want to achieve my bare minimum. Or one month I went on vacation on June 4th was when we were leaving. I wanted to achieve Success Club 10 by the 4th. So I hustled my hiney off the last week of the month to make sure I could get in everything that I needed to get in, get people started, and go on vacation. And put a few more things on autopilot, so there's seasons of hustle, which might mean a few late nights. It might mean that you're creating something because if I get asked something more than twice, I'm creating something for it, a video or a document, versus seasons of consistency and maintenance. I might be consistent and maintain with just the very basic daily vital behaviors every day, inviting 3, adding 3, following up with 3. Right? Personal development, working, like it's just bare bones minimum. It might take me an hour. I'm not putting a lot of energy and effort into it, but it's like brushing my teeth. So I try to train my coaches on doing that too. That it's okay. Because sometimes people are like, oh, I've achieved Success Club 22 2 months in a row, and now I want to quit because I don't see my kids. Okay, well, you need to time manage. You don't have to do that, but you can. Right? If you want to get to a certain place, this is your season of hustle. So I try and show them the season of hustle versus consistency and maintenance in a 30-day time period. Usually it's a couple months of hustle. Let's see, I mentioned getting organized and mapping out the month. And those were my 5 tips. I know that was like really all over the board, and I was trying to talk as fast as I could.
You're great. I have a question for you though. You put us on the edge of our seats. You said, right?
I know I did.
I'm like, okay, where's the answer? And then you just moved on. So, question for you. So you said that you have a friend, obviously, that has created an amazing business, and she does specific thing, marketing. What was that?
Okay. So there's 2 things that she did. Now, obviously, starting out, most people don't have a large marketing budget, and she knew that. In which I didn't either when I started out with her. And this was like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. Okay. So in her business, I'm not kidding. In her business that she was in, no one had built that business on social media. No one had. They were all doing it, the whole party face-to-face thing. Right. And home businesses come into social media like wildfire, I would say, within the last 3.5, 4 years. Like people are getting really good at it. So anyways, there were 2 things that she did. The first one was Facebook marketing ads. Okay. So most of us, do you guys do that with your business? Do you guys do Facebook ads? I do too. So matter of fact, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time and it always keeps changing, and that's really crazy. But for people who don't have a budget, but even I still do this today. And here's what's really weird about this. I know I'm really building up that momentum about this, or the mystery. But I still do this today. I feel so weird that I never really shared it with people. This goes back to decluttering, right? I was so busy just trying to figure out what other coaches were doing that were successful, that I was unfocused on some of these other things that I already did that I was good at bringing to the table, but it was so unobvious to me that I was doing it. Okay, here it is. I actually have a video out there for my coaches about it. So anyone could go find it right now. Okay. This is so awesome, you guys. You could do this from your personal page or your like page. So let's talk about your personal page first.
I'm dying. I'm like,
if you did this every day, you are like handpick recruiting people. Are you ready? Okay. So from your personal page, you like a bunch of pages. So if you don't, I want you to go like pages that you're interested in. Okay. It could be anything. Nordstrom. I like country music. So like country music artists, Lululemon, Fabletics, just things I like. Okay. Things that I actually would go visit after I get done doing my business activities. So what you do is you go onto their page, and then I actually have it all written down here because a lot of people have asked me about it lately. Okay. I'm just going to give you like a bare bone basics, something you could do every day. You could scale it up if you want or scale it down. Okay. So let's say, so what you do is you go, let's say you map out your pages 6 days a week, kind of what pages you're going to go to every week, same day, just to be consistent. So let's say today I'm going to Danny Johnson. Okay. Cause she's business minded, oriented, and attracts a lot of people like that. So then what you would do is you would find posts that have a lot of comments, and you would scroll. Now you're going to judge a book by its cover here, and that's okay, because people who have a great profile photo and a fun, inspiring timeline photo, those are people you want to be involved with. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a post with lots of comments, and you're going to, let's say, like 20 comments on like 5 or 6 different posts. Okay. So it's like just you're liking 20 comments for the day on any post. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you go to I'm just using Danny Johnson. If you go to her page and she's got like, 5 posts with lots of comments, among all of them, you'll just like 20 posts. Then what you can do is reply to 10. So, but you're handpicking these people. You're kind of look at what's this person saying, and then you kind of hover over their name, where it shows their timeline and their profile, and you're like, wow, they look like someone I would connect with, right? Here's this fun mom with this here's a person with a bright face, and they've got their profile photo right here, and you can see their face. They look happy, and you hover over it. And for me, I'm a mom. Oh, she's got 3 kids right there, or oh, she's got this fun timeline, right? I don't necessarily scroll the page all the time, but I'll comment on it, or say, oh, I totally agree, Crystal. I love this quote. And, she's really helped to, shift my mindset over the past few years. You add something that is not just, oh, like, love it. You don't just do that. You just add something a little more oomph, right? So Crystal's going to see. So are the other 9 people that I just commented. With something fun and nice. I'm like, who's a Shelley Hobbs girl? Okay. So some of them are going to add you as a friend, believe it or not. They're going to add you, or they're going to follow you. But then you could take 5, just 5 of these people that you've liked and replied, pick 5 and send them a message. Now here, you could either, I don't like managing my friend requests out there. Like, I don't do things where I add people as friends. I like for people to add me, because I have another method when people add me as friends, and I'll share that with you. But what I'll do is I'll send a message, and I'll say, hey, Crystal, I saw you on Danny Johnson's page. I just love her. She's so awesome. Hey, I just wanted to send you a message and, invite you to add me as a friend. Looks like we have some common interests with Danny Johnson. Would love to stay connected. Hope to chat with you soon. Or I'll add something in there that I see on her page. I see you have 2 cute kids. I have, kids 5 and 7. Or it could be like, country music. Oh, I see that you love Carrie Underwood. I love her too. I love, the song, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be deep. It just has to be friendly. And then you invite them to add you as a friend. Hey, I would love to, be friends on Facebook if you want to stay connected. Then they add you as a friend. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay. Then they're going to add you. So then every day I have a little piece in my day where I say add friends or accept friend requests, because I don't add friends. I accept the friend requests. So what I'll do is I'll go add. And then I'll hover over a message, and I'll see what kind of message they have sent me. Now, if they don't send any message, I don't know where people are coming from. So if they don't send me a message, I send this. Hey, Brittany, so great to, thank you for the friend ad. So great to connect. I love connecting with new people. Did you stop by to connect and network? I think I said that too many times. Or were you interested in one of my online fitness groups? Looking forward to chatting more, Shelley. Regardless of how they ever stopped by to find me, they know I have something now to offer. So even people who have stopped by to connect and network are like, well, what kind of groups do you offer? It's a great way to just start a conversation. I'm a happy face kind of person, so I put lots of happy faces not everywhere, but at the end of my name. So that's if they don't send me a message. But let's say like this girl, Crystal, that I messaged, let's say she responded back to me. I'll just start up a conversation. I'll go 2-3 times back and forth, just real quick chit chat. And then I'll be like, Crystal, you sound like such a fun, inspiring, motivating person. Hey, listen, I'm starting up a fitness group in the next few weeks online. It's perfect for busy moms or whoever they are, right? Like you don't have to be a mom to do this stuff, but I'll just find something of in common. Like I did this with another girl recently who lives in Phoenix and she doesn't even have kids, right? I just found something in common. I sound like a really fun, motivating person. I love working with those kinds of people in a group together. Would you like to know more about the group? And do you have any health and fitness goals that you're working on? Maybe bring a friend with you. It's so much fun to do it together. I just kind of make it sound so like casual and fun. And I just do it kind of like if you were to jump off a high cliff and like plug your nose and squeeze your eyes and just jump. You're just like, I'm just like I don't even care what people think about me. I just do it. If they don't like me, then forget it. But I'm nice. And you know what the first thing one of these girls said is, oh, I see you have a health and fitness business. Yeah, she saw it because she scrolled my page and she liked some things like a week back. That's what they do. They're looking at you. You know what I mean? So like all of it goes back to those 5 daily vital behaviors. You just get really, really good at posting and storytelling. You get really, really good at like this inviting piece, right? And everything you do, like every single thing is so like on purpose and so effective that there's no way you can't meet your goals if you just do it even at the bare bones basics. But if you start with your marketing calendar and you're like, okay, I want to achieve, Success Club 30, meaning I want 15 people to work with, and just reverse engineer everything from then. This week I'm going to market for this, and this week I'm going to for fitness groups. And then the third week, I'm going to market for my sneak peek. And the fourth week, I'm going to market for coaching. And then you're adding and inviting friends. You're kind of doing, it's like an orchestra, you know what I mean? And you're the conductor. And if you know what you're doing, then it's also effective. And you would think I'd be like top 10 coach right now with all those tips. Just kidding.
Those are big things. That is awesome. So now I want to open it up because I know you guys probably have a lot of questions, right?
Do you see though those are the little things? It's getting so good at those little things. If that's all you're focused on is getting so good at them, then they're like, holy cow, you become a master at them.
That's awesome, Shelley. I really appreciate that. I've kind of started doing things like that on like pages and going to pages that people who have the same mindset as me would be on. Like I'm a huge fan of Brendon Burchard and all that.
And you're doing it from your like page or your personal page?
Well, actually I've been doing it.
Because you can do it from both.
I know. I need to start doing it from my like page. I'm trying to build that organically. I've been doing this a long time and I've like changed up a lot of things, but I recently launched a new like page. And so I'm trying to get that going. Do you, I had a question though. Do you create an event page for your, like a public event page for your next challenge? And then so people see that as well?
I still just do it out of habit. Yes.
Okay.
So everything I do, and I have to admit that the last 2 months I've kind of gotten a little out of whack with it, but I do it by habit anyways. I'm just like, okay, I'm starting a new fitness group, create an event. Or I'm promoting for a sneak peek, create an event. I just do that just out of habit to show my coaches that I'm doing it too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And do you ever one more question, do you ever message people like this immediately about the opportunity? Like if you see that they might be a good coach, do you ever do that? And you kind of hold your nose and jump in?
I usually try to move the convo pretty quickly. I don't wait for a long period of time, I guess. So it's kind of a 2 to 3 back and forth. That's it. I mean, maybe on the third, by the third time I'm responding back, I'm saying something, you know what I mean? So I feel like kind of the answer is it's no, because I always do say something first, but like always by the third time I'm responding back, I'm usually inviting. I don't usually do it for coaching unless like there's a girl whose family owns a business here in Phoenix, and I could tell that she's entrepreneurial. So I would invite to, hey, you look like an awesome entrepreneur. You know, I have my business is health and fitness related, and it may not be for you, but maybe you know someone, because it sounds like you travel in circles of being an entrepreneur. Her family owns a distributing like a foods company in Phoenix. So she's not home business related. So that's kind of something else too. You can find people who are not home business related, right? They've got something else. Maybe they're a realtor or a makeup artist or a hairstylist, right? They're sort of entrepreneurs, if you will, maybe if they rent out their own chair. And so try and think about people who kind of like do things on their own, who aren't like necessarily always sort of 8 to 5 corporate working driven. Cause I'm already telling my story kind of about that, cause that's who I was.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Great stuff.
Great call. I agree with Sharon. I just want to say, thanks, because I think you made a really good point. We get into listening to a lot of coaches. We have the best in the West, and they're all great information.
They are.
But I find myself doing it, and then I find even my coaches doing it. It almost sometimes paralyzes us to move forward.
Totally.
Because we're like, well, she does it this way, she does it that way. And instead of like, how do you want to do it? How is it true to you? Because it has to come from you. And so it was just nice to hear. It's like granting permission. And I love that you just unfollowed. Like you built your confidence. And I think it's something I want to share with my coaches. Like you build your confidence, you get an idea of how, you follow someone you relate to, right? Like
yes,
a coach that you relate. So, and then you unfollow, like you're done.
Right. Exactly.
And I think
I also give my coaches kind of like a list of 5 different people. Like I always use Amy Silverman because she's so different than anyone else. And then I'll use like Melanie because they're like night and day, right? So I'll use a few top coaches, but I'll also use like a top coach on my team. She's a mom of 5. Are you telling me that running a family of 7, you can't do this? No, you can. And she's doing it. And here's how she does it. Right. So I kind of give like 4 to 5 different people that I know are so vastly different from each other. I want them to see the difference. Because I want them to feel empowered that they can be them. They don't have to be in a cookie cutter shell of being a certain way.
Right. And they don't have to be you.
Right. Yes. I had a coach say to me, she actually quit. She said, I'm not as dynamic as you, Shelley. And it just broke my heart because she quit before she told me that. And I was like, oh my God, like she didn't really realize that she didn't listen to my story. I wasn't always like this. I'm just me. I just do me. So I do try and paint that story, how everyone is just so different. They're them.
Can I ask you a question? And this is for whoever wants to answer, but I was talking to a prospective coach the other day, and she's young. She's a lot younger than me. And she's fresh out of college, and, this is just a great opportunity. She has a job that she gets finished with at 3:00 in the afternoon. I mean, how perfect is that? You can be a Beachbody coach, loves fitness and health. But she is not like me, right? Because just the age difference. And so she was saying, I'm kind of unsure of how I would do this. And I was going to send her some coaches to look at, young coaches that are really successful, to look at on Facebook. Have you guys ever done that? And
I have, yes. And I do. Yes. And also kind of, I listen to their, just whatever their thing is, whether they're a pregnant person, right? A pregnant person, like a pregnant coach. I'm like, oh, we've got some great coaches, as long as they're like, they've enrolled. I'm like, here's some great coaches that are pregnant or just had a baby. Look how they're doing it. It's so cool. They have so much to talk about. Or if someone's like, I feel like I haven't had a transformation yet, I'll send them to a certain few coaches that I have in mind that, are not to prove to them that you don't have to be at anything to to inspire and move forward. And so I'll send them a few coaches on my list. I'm like, look at her, you know, she's so awesome how she's promoting herself. And then they get like, yeah, I can do this. They see that they too can relate to that person. Yeah.
Thank you. It was great.
You're welcome. Gosh, you guys, thank you so much for letting me talk on here. I love like sharing my aha moments, because I'll tell you what, none of this ever came easy for me. I have cried a lot. I have felt like I have told my coach I wanted to quit 4 times, but I also didn't want to go back to corporate America. So I was just like, I have to make this work. I have to find my way.
Do you feel like, Shelley, that, because you said you were stuck for a while, and
10 months.
Okay, I've been stuck at 4-star forever, and I'm older. But do you feel like, because like when you said you unfollowed those coaches, found your voice, are these coaches that went diamond, because you're qualifying 6-star, right? That's huge to go from 1 to 6. Were those coaches with you and they kind of got it, or are these people that you've brought in that just ran with it? Because
that's a really good question. 80% of them were with me.
Okay.
And I've shifted and changed my languaging, like I said, and they've watched me grow and push through. And therefore now I can talk and inspire to them differently. And now the few that I have coming in, so one went diamond in like, I want to say like 67 days, right? She's a full-time working mom. So now, because I'm getting better at that storytelling posting, right? That shift is happening too. Now people are coming in who are more geared towards what I'm saying, which goes back to what you talk about people do.
Mm-hmm.
What else was I was going to say to that? I also, there's that feeling like us as leader coaches, I feel like, where we're just like, we have our own goals so badly, but we can't really talk about them with our teams. It's sometimes very hard to be like, all right, I want to be a 10-star diamond by the end of the year. You got to do this. You know what I mean? So you have to shift your languaging to, here are my goals. This is what I'm doing. And I'm going to bring 10 diamonds along with me. So we are going to be a top team. Like, so what I start to say is, you guys, we've got some really great baseball players on here. Like, I feel like I'm a great baseball player, but I don't make up a great team. I don't make up a World Series baseball team. So who wants to be part of a World Series baseball team? You don't all have to be. It's okay. I'll work with you at your pace. But those who want to, I need you to raise your hand so I know how to work with you. So I know to tell you exactly what you need to do and maybe what you're not doing. You know, so I think it's, and you know where a lot of this comes from is listening to these other podcasts, or I kind of point to these books back here. My whole shelf is like filled with books, but I'll like go look for them on podcasts or their YouTube videos. And I just start hearing these different languaging and I'll like write down the words. I'm kind of obsessed with this whole thing. I don't know what it is. It's like Brittany, when I talked with her the other day, she's like, you know, home business can be kind of selfish. It kind of can be. So I get really selfish, like when my kids are at school, and then I try and just drop it when they get home. So that way I'm all just them. And, again, just kind of going into that languaging, you guys, I feel like it's really helped to shift things. It hasn't helped to shift everybody, but I did just start a like, Let's Go Diamond group, and I'm not running it like everyone else runs Emerald to Diamond groups. I'm running it what I know. I'm putting in just, okay, here's how we're going to do this. And I may give you some tough love, but if you're here, you kind of want it. You want to know what to do. And I'm going to tell you what to do to help you change your life. So I'm always like putting it on them, right? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
Vicky, Heather, Christy, do you guys have any questions also? I want to see if you, and then Sharon, sorry.
That's okay.
No questions. Really good though. I mean, I do exactly what you do on fan pages. And I was just thinking about one thing to add too, is when I'm looking for people, I always look for those that agree with the original post, because I know that if I pick somebody who disagrees, they're going to also disagree with me. And I don't want that. So I always look for the positive people, the ones that are saying like, you know, I totally agree with that, or, you know, whatever they're saying, something positive, because Otherwise, I know that they may be in my niche, they may be perfect, but if they're disagreeing with the post, I don't want I don't want them.
Yeah, I agree with that. One day I went on to Fabletics, because like half my wardrobe now is Fabletics, and there was like this whole post where a whole bunch of people were complaining about shipping or whatever. I was like, I'm not going to comment on that. Not going to comment on that. And then one girl, she's like, I love this jog bra, and I ordered it and it was just perfect. And I was like, that's what I need.
That's the one. Yeah, exactly.
You guys can do that from your personal page, and then you can also put on your task list, go do it from your like page. And those are, so when people see, like mine is, there's a long story to this whole, my Facebook page name, but Shelley Hobbs, Get Fit Sexy Mama. If they're like, oh, who's this Shelley Hobbs, Get Fit Sexy Mama, right? Commenting on my post. She looks fun, or maybe she looks weird. That's a weird name. They may come over to my page and then see what I'm doing and then like my page. So if you just did that, if you just liked and commented on 10 posts a day from your like page, that's 10 organic likes you could possibly be getting. It doesn't take very much time. So that's why I tell my people, if you don't have a budget, you have ways. You just have to put in the time into your daily schedule to just do it every day. And here's like the last piece of advice you guys can give your coaches. My coaches love this one. Don't get attached to the outcome of the day. Don't care what happens today. Who does anything, who's a coach on your team, who doesn't post in your fitness groups, because I have fitness groups all the time. It doesn't matter. I'm still showing up every single day, like the best fitness challenger you've ever wanted in your fitness groups. It doesn't matter if you've enrolled anyone today as a coach or a fitness challenger. It doesn't matter what the outcome is today, as long as you've rocked out those, I like to call them IPAs, like income producing activities, which are your daily vital behaviors. Those will produce income over time. So I always say, don't get focused on today. Just do it, and then go do your life, your other parts of your life. And a lot of people like that, because they're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to get attached to it. And then things come from it. The tsunami of momentum rolls in.
That was awesome. Thank you. I love that. Karen, what was your last question, honey? I totally interrupted you.
Oh, I think she answered it. I think it was when you were talking about with your coaches, like when you do this diamond group, or you called it something different. Do you message each one individually, or do you just like do a video for your group? Like, does anybody want to do this? Because I started today just reaching out to some coaches that told me they wanted it, but haven't been doing much. And I didn't know what has worked for you.
So it kind of depends on like the activity in my coaches community team page, but usually I'll do a video, like a short video, and then telling them here's what I'm putting together, and here are the requirements. Here's what you need to bring to the table. Here's my expectations of you, and here's what you can expect of me. Right? And let's meet each other in the middle. And if you don't want to push yourself to go there, no problem. Right? And so I kind of do that, but also I bring all of my new coaches into a small private chat group. Mm-hmm. So I've got new coaches in a private chat group. I've got emerald coaches in a private chat group, and I've got diamond coaches in a private chat group. So I'll go into that emerald private chat group and put it in there too, in case people didn't see the post.
That's good. Okay. And you kind of wait for them to say me, like, I want to do it.
Yep. And okay. So, yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll post the link. I'll post the link and have them add themselves into the group. Like I'll post a link in the chat group or my coaches community page and tell them to add themselves. But I will say, I don't want you to be in this group just to see what we're doing. I want you to participate, because I am spending time out of my schedule to help you guys do this. And I'm going to look into your business. I'm going to look into your downline. I'm going to do some things with you, and I'm going to be creating things to help you. And I want you to meet me in the middle. But I also don't post things every day. I tell them I'll post 2 to 3 things a week, because there are assignments and I want you to do them. So I like to give them enough time. I kind of feel like it's like a grassroots sort of guerrilla marketing. It's not all fancified, and it's not like pay to get in. It's you bring it. If you want to be in, you bring it. And we're going to work close together. And some of them aren't even, not most of them. some of them aren't even my personally sponsored coaches. I just like invite everybody from our team. I really tried to create like a system in the team. I'm probably talking too long. This will be the last thing I say is everything's duplicatable from me down. Mm-hmm. Like there's no reason for anyone to reinvent the wheel and try and figure out how to onboard coaches. Like here it is. You go focus on building your business. Don't worry about this other stuff. You'll learn it as you go. You know, some people get real caught up in like trying to create new systems. I'm like, don't do that. Don't waste your time with that. Go spend your time on other things. We already got it dialed down. I've already spent enough time for the both of us for a couple of lifetimes trying to figure it out.
Me too. Yeah, I get that. So you're mostly focusing on just these 3 vital, the 5, as you put it, the 5 vital behaviors with these coaches, but not hand-holding them.
I don't hand-hold them.
Yeah.
I really love that private chat group for new coaches. It's so great. They get to know each other. It's more intimate. I do tell them I don't work on Sundays, so they know I'm not going to reply or respond in there, and they're totally cool with that. And they talk amongst themselves, or some of them that have maybe been a coach a few weeks earlier can help someone else. It's very each other, when they sell their first challenge pack and Emerald and things like that. So I really try and drive home these messages of you are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner. You're responsible for your success. Here are the tools. And I'm here to, guide you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remember Doug Moss saying to me, I met with him earlier this year when he was in Phoenix, and he said, if you're not saying something, he probably won't even remember they said this, but if you're not sick of hearing yourself say something, you haven't said it enough. Sometimes I just feel like, have you ever seen that movie Groundhog's Day, or they just same thing over and over and over? That's what I feel like sometimes, over and over and over and over.
Oh, I definitely feel like that with consistency and personal development. Oh, yeah, big thing. That's right. Cool. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me pick your brain.
Yeah, I'm excited to be in the group with you guys. I feel like I've gone through the trenches to learn a lot, but I don't feel like I know everything, and I love learning from other people, and I'm an open book. I will share anything with anyone. You can give like the best advice to someone who won't do anything with it, or you can give the best advice to someone who will do something with it. So I never have anything to hide. I like sharing because I feel like through sharing, you can find best practices and things and ways to do things even better.
And I know we said something about the best, and just to sum it up, I think it's absolutely amazing for you to say unfollow, because the worst thing you can do in this business is compare yourself to others. That is what is so crippling. And that's why I really wanted to create these mastermind groups, because these are like-minded coaches just like you that have been, a coach for a long time or are flying through the ranks. But you all come together and you all know what it means to be a 4-star diamond. But along with that, the best of the best of the West calls, keep in mind too, just like what you ladies said, don't try and reinvent the wheel. Doug says that every single time. Take a piece or two and apply it. If it works, awesome. This business is exactly that. You try, you test. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, you can continue to change, because even what you did 60, 90, even a year ago will not work today, right? We all know that. You have to try and test and keep on doing that. That's what will make you successful. So I love that, Shelley. Incredible call. Incredible. The fact, yes, absolutely. It's so exciting to have you obviously all the way with us now, and you're going to just fly on through. But thank you for getting great at the little things, because you're absolutely right. It is about the little things. It's the same thing that I teach, on team calls is everybody's like, well, what would you like to speak about? And I say, honestly, it is the 3 vitals, or in your words, the 5 vitals. That is what makes you successful. That's what makes it consistent. And that is what creates business partners. You no longer will be a manager. Like I said, I say this every single time to all of you coaches. You've heard this. If you were a manager, you would fire half of those coaches that are on your team. You can't fire them, okay? You have to inspire them. So anyways, Shelley, that was so amazing. I will post in the group, and really I'll probably post what is your biggest takeaway, because there was so much. You know what I mean? You can apply so many different little things in this. So thank you, Shelley. That was incredible.
You're welcome. You guys, really quick, were all of you at Summit?
Yes.
Okay. Did you notice the every speaker was like 3 daily vital behaviors, 3 vital behaviors, 3 vital behaviors. My coaches were like, I was expecting more. All they talked about was the vital behaviors. And I look at them, I'm like, because that's what it is. You just get really good at the little things, right? So that's kind of been my message. Like, that's it. Of course, the 5, right? But just, that's what it is. It's so weird. It's like, you just get really good at those 5 things.
It's the secret sauce, and nobody thinks it is, but it is the secret sauce. Carl even says it. You know?
A lot of it just starts up here.
Yeah, totally.
Starts up here.
Yeah.
They totally think it's they think it's something else. That's the funniest thing, is they really do.
And sometimes I feel like you got to go, you got to get in the ring and get beat up a little bit and get back up and get beat up a little bit and get back up and get beat up a little bit. Because each time you do it, you're creating a new experience for yourself. You're like, oh, I've just learned this. I just learned this. And if you can, that's why I just tell them, I'm like, we're going to have to, you're in the trenches, you know, and you're going to learn so much through this, and you're not going to fail. You're going to learn so much, and then you're going to become stronger, and all these other things are going to make sense. You can't just go put up a marketing ad and spend, $40 and be like, oh, I got, 10 new people to work with. But what if you're not ready to work with them? That's where that personal development comes. Like, if you're not ready, it's going to be hard to work with them. Or it might be really easy for a person who's done enough personal development for themselves. Anyways, I could talk about these things all day long, but
I don't think any of us have done enough personal development, so get on.
No way. Yeah, it just keeps going because you keep growing. Like, if you read a book for a second or a third time, you're like, oh my gosh, I never got that before. Yeah. I wasn't ready for it before. That's what it was, I think.
So true. Well, thank you for your time, ladies. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see your beautiful faces next week.
Thanks, everyone. Good to meet you. I'm excited to meet the group.
Talk to you soon, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.